plaintiff, Melody Johnson, started dating the defendant after they met online. But she says their relationship was rocky because she believed he was cheating. Melody claims she and the defendant were having intimacy issues, so she loaned the defendant money to get a procedure. But she's suing because he has yet to repay her. Defendant Jackie Pierce says Melody was insecure, and she automatically assumed he was cheating if his phone rang and he didn't answer it. Jackie claims their intimacy issues were more about his lack of desire to be intimate, and he insists he never agreed to repay her for the procedure. He's countersuing for property.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Okay, me and Mr. Pierre met in 2012 on a dating website. We dated for about a year and a half. It was a rocky relationship.
Why? What type of rockiness?
Well, I always felt he was a cheater.
What made you think that?
Because his phone was always ringing and he would silence it, or he would go into another room and talk on the phone. Plus, he never came off the dating.
Majority of the time, or just
majority of the time?
Majority of the time.
Majority of the time.
He would never answer his phone in your company, and he would go out of the room to talk when he did answer.
Correct.
If I had to judge that, sir, I'd say you were cheating. Go ahead.
Plus, he never
But that's not what we're here for. Yes, ma'am.
He never came off the dating websites. That was a big argument. Okay. We reconnected in the end of 2015. We started living together in the beginning of 2016. The relationship was okay. We still had some rough patches, but it wasn't due to...
What about? Same thing, his women.
Well, in the end, yeah, it was the same thing.
Kept turning that phone off.
Yeah, it was. It was the same thing in the end.
And sir, I have folks calling me so much, bugaboos, and I rarely, when I do turn my phone off, my wife doesn't have one suspicion because, you know, I'd get a lot of bugaboos. So you just gotta let them know a little something. Mm-hmm. You just can't majority of the time when your phone rings, you turn it off. Or leave out the room frequently when it rings in front of your girlfriend. You gotta at least say something, sir, unless it happens rarely, then perhaps there's no reason. But if it's happening often, you need to say, oh, these folks just keep bugging me, that was such and such. They bugging the devil out of me. And then if she wants to challenge you on that, and it's true, then that may be the one time. And then the second or third time she does that, just say, I ain't gonna keep going through this. You just be quiet. And when she get that close to your face, then it's just time to leave. Just walk on her way. Then if she come with the butcher knife, run away. You give me some background, sir, on your relationship.
Okay. The phone thing, for instance, 4th of July is my birthday. We were sitting in her backyard. The phone rang, and it was all my phone numbers. I have a picture ID associated with that number, and it was a woman. Where she went to reach for the phone, and I took the phone.
The fireworks occurred. July 4th.
Threw all my stuff out in the yard, threw my keys out, and couldn't find the keys. We had to search for the keys. That's when we broke up the first time.
Okay.
We did reconnect. She does have some insecurity issues. We took a trip to visit my family in Arkansas. My phone rang twice, and she said, your phone was blowing up. So I got two calls.
Twice, and she said blowing up.
So I opened the phone and I showed it. One, when the phone rang, I looked at it. One was my mortgage company. The other one was a number.
Well, you definitely want to talk to them. Go ahead.
So I showed
mortgage company and someone.
And I played, the other one left a message. It was one of my customers asked me about a vehicle that they had purchased from me. I played the message back to her.
Did he?
after he deleted a couple of the messages, he just showed me the ones that he wanted me to see, and there were more than a couple in your mortgage company.
Your Honor, I showed her that I got 2 phone calls.
Now, how often would she accuse you? She says you did it all the majority of the time you all were together. How often would she accuse you?
Of that, you know what?
Why you not answering your phone?
You know,
Why you gotta leave the room to talk?
my phone was charged right next to hers. My phone would sit on that table even when she was sitting there because I wanted to make sure she knew that I wasn't.
Did you give her the code?
No, of course not.
And she never answered. And I don't have the code to hers.
Please, y'all too
And I
grown
don't
for
have the
that.
code to
Y'all
hers.
too grown for that nonsense. Go ahead. What you sort of about today? Tell with this nonsense. Go ahead.
I agree.
In May of this year, we were having intimacy problems. So in May of this year, he went to the doctor, and the doctor diagnosed him, and he came home with the findings, and then he said that the procedure was going to cost $3,000, and he
When
didn't
did
have.
Viagra start costing that much? $3,000.
Yes, he didn't have the money.
No, seriously though, what?
It actually had nothing to do with needing a pill. We weren't, it was more of desire. I explained to her that I had a lot going on then. I had a lot going on at work. I had a lot going on internally with the relationship and externally. So she actually told me about this place. I researched it. I went, had a consultation. I took blood and all that. They said I had low testosterone.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, but when that phone rang, the testosterone was off the charts.
That's a good point. Now you might be on to something.
Don't go away. There's more Judge Mathis after this.
It actually had nothing to do with needing a pill. It was more of desire. They said I had low testosterone.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, but when that phone rang, the testosterone was off the charts.
That's a good point.
Plaintiff Melody Johnson says while dating the defendant, they had intimacy issues. But the defendant insists their issues were due to his lack of desire to be intimate.
Tell me how he owes you for it.
Okay, so he didn't have the cash for it, so he asked me to give him a loan. So I put it on my credit card. And since we broke up, now he refuses to repay the loan.
Okay. Sir?
When I went to this consultation, the people came out, it seemed to me that it was more sales than science. It was like going to a timeshare, one of those meetings. The guy came in, and this guy's like maybe 30 years old, and he wanted me to take these injections. That was all they were pushing.
Where were they where was the needle?
So I'm telling him, that's not my problem.
Okay.
That's not my problem. And he's telling me, he's 30 years old, and he's telling me about, I inject myself all the time. And
Oh, he definitely selling you.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, 30-year-old has low testosterone. Go ahead.
Right. Another guy came in, and he was like the closer. He was telling me, but he's like, I'd say about in his 40s, and how he does it all the time and all this. And I'm telling him, it's not my problem. It's not my problem. So I actually had her go to the next meeting with me. And I told her how I felt about these people.
You said, this is con, right?
Right.
And she said, well, let me go.
I'm in sales. So she went with me, and I thought
you selling me. Yeah, I'm agreeing with everything you say so far. Go ahead.
So I wanted her to see what I saw. And I thought she went in, and I thought she was making light of it. We went out to the car, and I actually told her, I didn't feel comfortable with the way that went. And when we looked at the cost, I thought that would be a deterrent because I wasn't going to pay it. She gave me a credit card. I never asked for it. I didn't have. I wasn't going to pay for it.
It can cost all the money in the world. But
Exactly.
This gonna happen.
Here.
It's worth the risk.
So I never.
Did it work?
No, it didn't. I even told her.
Do you know of whether it worked?
Yes, it worked. Yes, it His desire, it did increase.
All right.
Yes, it did.
Okay.
The reason it increased because some of the
See,
one
stop
thing
fussing.
after I did the procedure, that kind of settled down a little bit. I was trying to get into a certain club level at work. I got into that. So a lot of the pressures that I had on actually.
You don't know whether it was the pressures or that procedure.
No, I was supposed to have all
let's
this.
Let's get to the loan. Did you ever say you would repay her?
Never.
When do you recall him telling you that?
When he agreed, when I told him that I would put it on the credit card, he agreed at that point. That's why he made the second
But did he
appointment.
try and discourage the process? Did he say, I'm bringing you here because these folks are full of con, and that's why I don't want to do this, because I want you to hear for yourself.
He said that he did say that they, he didn't say that they were cons.
These people were pushing this product.
Okay.
You have different types of
and
sales.
believe me, you really pushing your case today. Let's get to your counterclaim. How does she owe you for property, sir?
Well, when we came back, things were really bad. So I told her that I was, I think we both agreed that I was just going to move out. I had moved all the way down to the basement anyway. So I moved out. I had two of my teenage grandkids helping me. So that wasn't going very well. So I couldn't get all my stuff. So I told her, is it okay if I leave the stuff back, the stuff that I can't take today, can I leave it here and come back and get it? She said yes.
Haven't gotten it yet?
No.
All right, and you have the value of the items?
I do.
All right, let's see the list of it. Ma'am, what do you say to his items?
Okay, I haven't seen the entire list.
Did you withhold anything?
I didn't withhold, well, yeah, I did withhold it until he pays me the money that he owes. Like he said, he had his teenage kids with him and they weren't able to move the stuff. There was a desk that he left and he asked whether or not he could leave the desk.
You are saying that you withheld his items because he hasn't paid you for this loan.
Well, I don't want his items. Yeah.
But you're withholding them.
And
so
some of the
ma'am, that's enough. Do you have any evidence of the loan, any discussion? I see you have some things in your hand.
Here's the credit card charge.
Okay, I believe you charged that he agrees to that. The question is, did he agree to repay you? And do you have any documents indicating that?
No, I don't have any documents.
Do you have anything indicating that you all discussed it?
No, it was all verbal.
Because you had a vested interest too, man. You had a vested interest in him having the procedure.
Did it work? No. No, it didn't. I even told her.
Do you know of whether it worked?
Yes, it worked. Yes, his desire, it did increase.
All right.
Yes, it did.
Okay.
Plaintiff Melody Johnson says while dating the defendant, they had intimacy issues. But the defendant insists their issues were due to his lack of desire to be intimate.
Right now, I don't know who to believe because it is believable and reasonable that a person would pay for that. Now, who makes the most? Is there a salary level here? Maybe I can consider that.
I don't know his annual income. I
so
work
you just
full-time,
shelled out
but
$3,000, loaned a man $3,000. You don't even know how much he makes?
Well, I mean, he has several different incomes. He works a job. He has Social Security, plus he has rental property. So
why did you have to loan him your money then with all these things? Why would you loan him your money instead of saying, well, we'll just wait a month. We'll just wait 2 months.
Because we were living together and I had used my credit card before and he paid me back.
So why do you think he just suddenly didn't want to pay? If he's paid you in the past and the only problems you all have had in the past is him cheating, why do you think suddenly he becomes a deadbeat? And you have to prove it. The burden is on you and you haven't proven it. You haven't proven your case, ma'am. I'm sorry, your claim is dismissed and yours is granted. Have a good day.
He stood there and lied. He's a salesperson. He's a good liar.
I'm just happy it's over with.